we're going to move on to our last improv game of our show. This is a game that is called Green Screen. However, we have no budget for the show, so we don't actually have a green screen. But here's the basic gist of the game. So I am a reporter on the scene of a really big developing news story, and Steve is an eyewitness. On this, like, I'm interviewing Steve as an eyewitness on the scene, trying to tell me what's going on. How this really works is Steven's brought an object for that I'm not sure of what it is. And so during the course of me like doing an ad lib report, I got to try and figure out what it is based on clues you might drop as the eyewitness. So if you've ever seen the game Whose Line Is It Anyway, the show Whose Line Is It, which is awesome, they do this with an actual green screen, and the reporter like me has a green screen behind him. All the audience can see what's on the green screen, but he sees nothing. That's why it's called green screen. But again, when you have no budget, you gotta make do. I've got a green wall.
There you
I don't
go.
know if that counts, but it doesn't have the same technology to it. But we're gonna apply the same concept. So here's so that's it. You brought an object in question,
yes.
And I'm gonna turn my head for a minute while you show our audience at home what that object is, so they know what we're doing. So make sure they all get a good look at that.
Yeah. It's most impressive.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so now I put it away.
Okay, you put it away. Okay, so now my objective as the reporter is try and guess what on earth Stephen brought that's causing this big news story. And I never tried this before. We'll see how this goes. Again, my hat's off to the people on Whose Line Is It Anyway who do a really good job of this because they're amazing. But all right. Well, we interrupt this regularly scheduled program to bring you this breaking news report. Coming to the offices of the Chill Group here, we've just received news that there's been a big disturbance in the city. Stephen, can you tell me what you've seen here today?
Well, Corey, it's most impressive. It's long, it's black, but it's got an orange tip on it. And it's one of those things that people look at it in awe. They think, my goodness, that object exists. It's just extraordinary.
Wow. I love it when bicycle pumps go awry. Because if a bicycle pump is like doing this, then it might get something really big and it's black and it might have an orange tip. Am I anywhere close?
Well, you're not close, and it's not really designed to inflate things. But that's a neat idea. I hadn't thought of that.
So can you tell me, have there been any complaints called in so far about this disturbance?
Well, there's been some complaints because this thing, the expectation was that it would be full, but now it's empty. And so being empty, it's of no use. And the intention that they had purchased it for, since it's empty, they can't use it for, if that makes any sense. So what they were hoping that it was full when they took it off the shelf and went to make use of it. But alas, they found it was empty.
I get the feeling we're not talking about a really big object. Are we talking about can you tell us about how big this object is?
Well, my goodness, it's about yay long by about yay high. So that's about 1.5 feet by 3 or 4 inches high and about 3 or 4 inches wide. It's kind of cylindrical.
What kind of disturbance would be caused by a really big black marker?
Well, it's not a marker.
Oh, it's not a marker.
It doesn't put marks as such, but you use it to create marks, kind of, sort of.
Is it something that's small enough that because maybe this is the problem that's happening, is people are using it to like, well, I couldn't because I don't have any hair anymore, but people are using it to kind of put curls in their hair?
I don't foresee that unless they had really long hair, and they probably wouldn't use it to, there's no heat source to it, so no, they wouldn't be using it to curl their hair. And it really doesn't go well on your hair either. It's one of those things that just people look at you and walk like, why did you have that in your hair? Not to say that it's not okay.
Let me ask you this. What do you think the cost is going to be for the damage or the failure this thing has caused?
Well, the cost to the client, of course, is loss in productivity, that they were hoping to have all these manuals and reports ready for today's training session, and unfortunately, they can't produce these manuals because the object in question is empty.
Does this have anything to do with a printer?
My goodness, I think you're on the right track here, sir.
It's but it's not a printer?
It's not a printer.
It's not a printer. Something goes in a printer.
Something that goes in the printer.
If you guys have any idea at home, feel free to help me out here. So it's something that goes in a printer. And
it's something that goes vitally in the printer.
Is it printer ink?
That's printer toner. Yes,
Printer
sir.
toner. Woo!
It is a fine toner cartridge from a Xerox printer.